we're just saying about how we don't see clearly, you know, that humanity isn't seeing clearly. And as we know, a lot of it's due to the food and all that, as well as the astral stuff that's affecting in the doorways that they've opened, and the ancestral doorways as well, because things have happened in our ancestors' lives that have given permission to these other entities to come in more, because of the choices and especially darker acts like murders and things like that that have gone in people's generational lines and stuff, and curses that have been made. And it's weird really, because all this science thing is all said about that, you know, the world we're living in, none of this stuff exists, and it's all a load of rubbish, you know, and it's a shame really, because we're being stupid and naive. Never mind. Casey's making some kefir.
Are you pointing at me at the moment?
I'm pointing at the kefir.
Alright. Sorry, I thought the camera was the other way around. They just watched me gnawing the top off a water bottle.
It's alright. We
I'm
have to
still
get over
kind
worries.
of a bit jury out on the water kefir at the moment, because I know there's been so many kind of health fads, and I know a lot of them are part of the manipulation, so I'm still feeling things out, to be honest, with the water kefir.
Which is being sensible, you know, feeling things out, and what you feel's right for you is sensible, not being
I feel like with
stupid.
everything, you know, everything that we put out as well, like run it past your own truth, try things, you know, like your own wisdom has to come above anything else, you know, nobody is better or has more, you know, nobody's more, really.
It's interesting, when I see you, I see the overshadowing when I actually look at you, and I can't see it when I look at you on the camera.
That's a bit interesting.
Very much. In the past I have seen stuff on the camera a bit, but
yeah, I mean,
there's a bit then,
I feel it at different times and things, you know.
We are aware that the energies that we have around us, that are, you know, Team Dark working on us, haven't wanted us to share what we're aware of, so this is what we're doing. We've decided to start sharing and be honest, you know. There's no planning, there's no, you know, we might do a few videos that are planned.
I think it is better. I think that we just need to try and speak our truth as best we can in any moment, because I think we're all meant to be sharing our journeys. We're meant to be sharing our learning processes and everything as well.
The coming together is what's needed right now on the planet.
We are all in this together, you know, like I think that we all will have chosen to incarnate at this time because of what's going on the planet. And we'll all have things that we came here to share, like with each other, as well as just in general.
Even families aren't getting to, you know, have the deeper communication that they would want to, you know. It's like there's so much more bounty, the bounty of life, you know. There's so much more to experience, which we would have done being in the wild and more connected to nature and more protected by her energy in the past. We'd have been, you know, I know things weren't perfect back then, but there is this understanding that the spirit has been lost, and this whole work hard thing and this whole slavery thing has taken over. I've been laughed at for saying about slavery, that we're living in slavery times, you know, but you know, that's what I feel is going on. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry, going a bit all over, aren't we? The water kefir, of course, is supposed to be a good source of probiotics. So I'm just giving it a go. I mean, I recently tried to do a cleanse with the turpentine and things as well. And like all these things, as I say, I'm a bit jury out on.
But we've been trying things anyway to see
just trying different things to like cleanse our systems. I mean, I do think the way that the diet has been for a long time, everything is over sanitised. We would have been getting more natural, like healthy bacterias, you know, from the soil and everything.
The out of touch with nature thing is part of the agenda. I would say the agenda that's been going on, you know.
From our natural wisdom, apart from anything else.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the topic is of this video really, but
I think we just need to start speaking out more often and just kind of speak honestly about where we're at. I mean, like literally where we're at as well. I mean, like at the moment, we've been back in England for quite a long time actually, and we've bought back into things a little bit more since January of this year, like when we decided to rent a place again. Like, we're living down in Dorset at the moment, and I mean, really, if we are renting a place, we couldn't do better than
and people think that we're ungrateful, but it's nothing to do with that. We're
I
following
think
our
it's
spirit,
just,
and it's
I feel strongly that it's not actually natural for us to live within buildings like this.
the energy is stagnant, isn't
I
it?
feel like we're meant to have a proper earth connection. You know, we're obviously in a static van at the moment, so we're raised up on metal stalks. But I also feel that when you're in like rectangular and square buildings, that the energy can't move and flow properly. You know, like a lot of old like tribal buildings were round, and I do think it makes a difference. You know, if you're sleeping actually on the earth and the energy can move more freely, I do think it's very helpful, because we've found that the patterns are much more stagnant when we're in these kind of buildings. It's very easy to buy into like the normal roles and like normal life,
which are a program. I feel like there is some sort of level of matrix to what is going on the planet, because these patterns, they are going on through the whole planet, you know, and the media and, you know, TV and all that is used to control and you know, how we're supposed to behave and all that. Forgot what I was going to say actually.
Sorry, I'm distracting you.
No, sorry.
But that's the thing though, I mean, that's valid as well, because it's so easy to get pulled off track.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
we're all being used
and
to
that
do
is
that to each other.
that's what we understood after a while, that we're not able to hold our ground.
Vibration and our awareness level.
Yeah, like it's very hard for focus, you know, for people to hold a soul focus. Not just if it was focus on a particular job, you know, like something practical, that's allowed. Anything practical is allowed on this planet, you know. Actually, as long as you were doing practical things all day long,
working you towards something that's of deep value.
yeah, as long as you're not like healing or becoming more connected to your spirit, you know, or you're living an ecstatic life, as long as you are just getting on with it, then you kind of like, you know, left alone. So this is what we're needing to do. We're needing to break out of these patterns and these fears that hold us in these lifestyles that drain us and don't support our highest interests, you know. And it is scary, you know, and sometimes walking away with nothing is kind of like, you know, maybe a good idea. Sometimes shaking up your life, which is what we've done a few times.
Needed to just break the patterns.
And that's the thing, in this environment in here, what we found inside buildings and places that are cut off from nature, the energy is stagnant, and there are patterns of behaviour that we get locked into, like the TV one, which is a pattern or a script. So I don't know what technology is going on in the astral realms to propagate this, you know, to make this worse. But when you're out in nature, many of us have seen it. Like, you suddenly start thinking of phoning someone that you've forgotten, or you think of, you know, you get more inspiration. You start to realise, oh God, I really need to drink more water, or you know, this is the voice of your spirit starts talking to you. You're more aligned with your truth. You're more aligned with your energy. You're more in touch with what you know. So that's what's needed, and we love that. You know, I've been through depression and horrible things in my past, and felt very stuck in a very limited reality, you know, and it felt like there was no way out, and all that, and that state, we do not belong there, you know, and we would be helping each other through this stuff, you know. There would be more help. And there's a lot of people in our country, in England, who feel isolated and end up suicide, you know. But people like me and Dan the Man and other people on the YouTube feel like they're here to help inspire and say, you can come through this, you know, like that you can do this. There's a lot of people.
Sorry, you were cutting your head off. So
there's a lot of people out there who want to do that.
Hello again. I just thought I'd open a window so you can see that it's quite nice here, really. We'd had the curtains shut before when we went out, just because Ricky's got some recording equipment in here at the moment, so it's quite good to not have it just blatantly obvious.
So there's a lot for us to learn here on the planet, and there's a lot for us to do, and I do feel like me and Katie, since we've been back in England and got caught in the normal world,
Our
see the whole
levels plummeted being back.
Awareness plummeted. We lost our the whole thing with our way of life is to keep us distracted, to keep us not able to just tune in and know what we actually want to do or need to do. You know, so we're kept busy, and if you want to accomplish anything, it's like you need that, you know, and this is where the diet and the food comes in, you know, because you need that energy, you need to have your life force flowing to make things happen, you know. Sometimes people who, you know, have a lot of ideas and are very mental, they can make stuff happen, but to truly align with your spirit and know that you're doing the best you can do, every part of your life needs to be in sync, you know. And this is where it's like nature, deep breathing, good food. I feel like I can't breathe in here, I need more air getting in. You know, that is these places that we live in are like to isolate us. They isolate us from life.
All of it is a learning process, isn't it? And I mean, I think really that is why we need to try and do these videos and be as honest as we can, because obviously, you know, like a lot of people are putting their wisdom out or whatever they've learnt on YouTube and things like that, but you know, sometimes it can just be, you know, like when they're in floating on a crowd and guru mode, and really I don't think there's many people who are actually managing to maintain that state of awareness. I mean, we're certainly not. So I feel like there's value and truth in just being ourselves, just truly trying to be ourselves where we're at, sharing our journey as we rise and fall and learn things, because I keep screwing up, you know, like I'll still get manipulated and think that something's a good idea. I mean, I got some sheep's cheese yesterday because I'd felt like something's been missing from my diet, just eating the raw vegan and things, and like the amount of overshadowing I felt then, you know, the energies that I know affect my system were so much stronger having the sheep's cheese again, you know, like I still haven't quite got that out, and that was like 2 days ago.
That's the understanding about these energies. They helped us manufacture these foods that we are now ingesting, weaken our system to let them have more influence over the human body. You know, so when we say that it's all, you know, the government and it's all the big companies, yes, it is, but those big companies, they gave their power away to darker beings who gave them this stuff in order for them to get money. They cared about money more than healthy foods. They cared about that which aligns them.
There's so much control at every level, really, you know,
but
like humans
also
are made to control other humans. We're controlling the animals. I mean, I think that was the thing with the cheese, you know, whenever we take anything that has been farmed or manipulated, it does affect us, because that's the vibration that we're taking in. Those sheep whose milk was used to make the cheese that I ate, they don't have freedom, they're not respected as a divine being in their own right.
And when you get more sensitive, you do start to feel that, and you can feel the effects and the energy of that, and you don't want it. You begin to go,
it makes a difference.
Yeah.
It's almost like we align with the idea that that's all right. So if we're saying that it's all right for animals to be in slavery, it's like saying it's all right for us to be enslaved as well. You know, like there's so many things that are interrelationships, as above, so below. There's
a lot that needs to be learnt, you know, and everyone needs to start speaking their truth from what they know, and it's going to be a long process for us all to...
I mean, my truth at the moment is I've got a splitting headache and I need to get something to eat, so I'm going to disappear and do that, really, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'll just say a little bit about what I've been doing quick. So yeah, I was messing around with my food and all that, and trying to... Well, I was doing this raw vegan thing, which works for a while and helps you have a lot more energy. I think it's good for cleansing. And then I tried some eggs, I think it was, to break it, and that wasn't too bad. And then I've been eating fish recently, which has given me a lot more strength in my body. You know, so I say to people what's really good about the food is that by taking things away for a while, you learn what those things have, what effect they have on you, you know. And adding and taking things away, you really can understand what's good for you with food, you know. So it's been a very long process, and yeah, and I think learning to be dynamic, I've learned, and change and know what you need is the key of it. So yes, I didn't do any videos for a while, but usually I see it as a sign as that's not as good a path. If I'm doing videos every day, and if we're sharing our gifts, I think that means that, you know, we're doing something right at those times, you know. I'm all for everyone sharing their gifts. Not sure what else to say, really. You got anything else to say, Kay?
Just that we're all works in progress. You know, I mean, a lot of people might disagree with the fact that, you know, you've been having fish, you know, because a lot of people who follow this sort of thing are very strictly vegan.
Yeah, and it's really hard for us because
I can understand that, because, you know, I don't agree with what is done in general. I mean, especially if things are farmed. I mean, I know you've been having sea fish, so they have at least had a wild and natural life before they're caught. But I mean, obviously it's still trauma for the fish, and it's still taking a life, you know, so
I think it really needs respecting, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing we can definitely at least agree on, that we've got to start respecting life and nature in itself, you know. And I felt like I needed to build my system up a little bit, you know, and I still don't feel like it's the ideal thing having any animal, you know.
No, I mean, I don't like taking lives, and I don't like taking in the vibration of death either. I mean, I don't even like taking leaves off these herbs, really, you know. I mean, ideally, if I felt I could survive on it at this stage, I would like to be fruitarian, ideally. But I mean, I know my body has been very deeply weakened, and so, you know, as I say, everything that we do is still very much a work in progress, you know.
But yeah, so I started eating some fish and that, and it was really good being able to go for a run and feel strong in my body again. But I think one of the worst things is being addicted to something, you know, and it having a hold on you. That's a sign when something's really an issue. But in regard to spirituality, I do feel like eating vegan, if you can get everything that you need, and you are getting it, is
raw.
And raw as well. I mean, raw, you know, it's certainly worth giving a go, because it seems that there's more connection to your spirit with it. And in the beginning I was like, well, am I just more ungrounded? Am I really more connected to my truth? And I was more connected to my truth. So it's about basically discernment, you know, of what vibrations are actually what we're putting in our system is a big one. And I think it keeps getting undermined, where people are like, yeah, but, you know, you can just sort of like change your DNA just by thinking, so I'm just going to smoke like 100 cigarettes anyway, you know. It's like if you're putting something in your body that is battering your system, you know, like, why spend all that energy all day trying to pray to negate the negative effects of it, you know? Why not just
stop eating it?
Yeah, and do things that are clear for your system, you know. We're all free to do what we wish to do, you know. But it's just, I do believe that if you want to slowly wake up, there is a path for you, or there's, you know, there's certain things that will work better and certain that won't. I hope we can all find what those things are, you know, and do that. Okay. Right, Kate? We'll say bye now, innit?
Take care, lots of love, and follow your truth, trust your own truth. You know, we're all on this journey, and I do think we're all on it together, and we're all on it for a reason. You know, if you're watching this, you might have something to take from it, and we might have something to learn from you as well. So, you know, it's important just to live, and to live as honestly as we can, really.
Let's find our way out of the maze.